Welcome to the OK Boomer Gaming channel, a channel for cynics of contemporary video game design that think that the golden age of video game design occurred at some point between the 8-bit and PlayStation 2 era. If you are of the PC gaming persuasion, this would have occurred a bit later, with the beginning of the end marked by the Burning Crusade expansion for World of Warcraft. I share this view, but I am reticently hopeful that we may have finally gotten a game that breaks the free-to-play / mobile model out of the quagmire of cookie-cutter pieces of shit that we've had since the arrival of the smartphone. The game that I am referencing is Genshin Impact. I was late to try Genshin Impact because I am hesitant to try any new mobile game, no matter how great it looks, and I blame this mostly upon Square Enix and their constant stream of dogshit mobile adaptations of popular franchises. I'm talking about Mobius, Record Keeper, Final Fantasy Tactics, War of the Visions, Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, Romancing Saga, Kingdom Hearts 1.765 pi squared or whatever the fuck, Star Ocean Animesis. The problem with these games is they take one little segment of what the game was and then try and cram it into a stage-based format so that they can use the old energy-based model in free-to-play as the progression wall. We're at the point in the video where I do the obligatory pandering for subscribers, so if you could hit that button, or the like button at least, that'd be great. I also have a Civilization VI channel, if you want to check that out. It's in the details below. Granted, with Genshin Impact, I am still in the gacha honeymoon period. That is the period of time before you have hit the paywall, and you do not yet feel like stabbing your eye out with a hot poker for the amount of money that you've spent on gems or whatever the currency may be. So let's talk about how Genshin Impact breaks the mold from the current mobile gaming market. Well, one, it's not strictly a mobile game. It executes flawlessly on porting over the PC with both controller support and mouse and keyboard support. There's an actual fucking world to walk around in. It's not a series of linked stages. And if there is stages, there's an actual purpose to those stages. It's like an actual boss fight. It's not like a stage where they try and cram you into as small of a little claustrophobic area as possible. Here's looking at you, Fire Emblem Heroes. 2, the game has actual controls that seem like they're designed for a game and not designed to work around the limitations of a phone. You can switch between characters in your party, real time, set up combos. It genuinely feels like the game was actually designed to play on an actual game system. 3, not to harp on the stage thing some more, but you can actually walk around and explore the world. There's shit to actually explore. It feels like there's an actual overworld. Feels sort of like playing like Tales of Symphonia or Star Ocean, the actual Star Ocean, not that Animesis piece of shit. Now, in the long term, here are the things that should still worry you. 1, it is still a gacha game at heart, which means that you will not get all of the characters. Not that you necessarily need them all, because to be honestly, the story is not that interesting. Even though I'm thrilled that there's a world to walk around in, I'm not overly concerned with the story. However, inherent to that business model, then there is always the concern with power creep. They, of course, need incentive for people to continue purchasing, so there is always the possibility that the game will become overly imbalanced in favor of new characters as they come out. 2, it still suffers from the confusing as fuck banner system that is the hallmark of all these types of games, where you need to spend like several hours researching on Reddit just to determine whether or not you should use the currency to try and obtain something in the game. Now, this is something that developers do on purpose to confuse you. It is a psychology thing that they know that people are bad at comparing things that are not alike necessarily. So that they load up all of these banners with different combinations of things just to make it actually fucking harder for you to figure out what the fuck you actually want to get. That leaves you in the situation where you either just fucking are pissed because you waste your money, or you're pissed because you have to spend all this time figuring out whether or not you should even spend your fucking money. Then lastly, it's sort of related to banners, but it is confusing fucking events that you have to go watch somebody else explain before you go do the event to make sure that you aren't missing something. It's just fucking annoying, and that's also a hallmark of mobile and gacha games. Okay, that wasn't really lastly. One more minor point, and some people probably disagree with this because maybe they really like jumping puzzles. But I really hope that there's not a bunch of fucking jumping puzzles because I can't stand fucking jumping puzzles. It's what made me hate that fucking Borderlands prequel so much. So hopefully there's not like a lot of jumping puzzles that you need to get to shit. So that's about it. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say if you are a fan of Star Ocean, Tales of Symphonia, or any real-time combat type of action RPG, that Genshin Impact is probably worth a try. But again, I don't have that many hours in, so I'll just tentatively say that it doesn't seem to have a lot of the same problems that I see with other mobile game releases.